In your syllabus, you'll see references to modules that you will have to complete throughout the semester. These modules are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4 consecutively, and modules correspond to particular lecciones, like this particular module, Module 1, it corresponds to Lección 2, Module 2, Lección 3. When you get to the Imagina supersite, you'll see the table of contents, which has all of the lecciones that you're going to be working with this semester. Lección 2 is right here. Just click it and you will enter it. Every lección is organized in the same way. You'll find the chapters or the lecciones content in the middle of the page. You can scroll through there and see a number of different activities that you would be completing. Over to the right of the page are student tools, and you can find here all sorts of helpful information to assist you while you're completing activities such as a grammar reference or an online dictionary. Going back to the middle of the page, here we have our Lección 2, and you'll find different boxes. Each box has a component of a chapter. This is the Para Empezar portion of this chapter. After that, you'll find a cortometraje, which is a short film, an Imagina section. Then you get into the estructuras, or grammar of the particular lección that you're working with, some cultura, literatura, and flash cultura, and then some more perhaps work with vocabulario. Notice that each box or unit of the chapter has a major link, and then it has a number of activities that correspond to that major link. So, for instance, Para Empezar is going to have vocabulary for you. If you click that, then vocabulary for that chapter will show up, and you can listen to words just by clicking them. You'll notice here, under Práctica, you'll have a due date. And there are due dates for, or there are possible due dates for almost anything within the chapter, such as the estructuras. Your teacher will set up due dates for particular activities. You may not have to do all activities. So for instance, working with the predator here, you may not have to do all of the activities. You will be responsible for completing at a minimum the ones that the teacher indicates has a due date. So if one doesn't have a due date, it's your choice to do it. The teacher will not check to see whether you've completed it, but obviously it's within your own interest to do that. Now, the supersite has links to pages for structures or for cultura. Clicking on the page actually takes you to the online book, and it looks like any other language textbook you may have worked with before. You just click it, and it loads the page that it's referring to. You will see here, for instance, Práctica with the predicate verbs. But if you scroll down here, you'll be able to see other information or other activities that you will need to be working with. There's a table of contents for the book that makes it easy to navigate to all the information that you might need. So clicking on Estructuras, it takes you to the beginning of the Estructuras for instance, Lección 1, and it'll give you an overview of how to conjugate verbs into present tense, for instance. If we wanted to go to Lección 2, I could click on Lección 2, I could go to Estructuras, and it should take me to the preterite. Under the preterite here, you could click Mexico, and you would have to go through this paragraph here and conjugate the verbs accordingly. Notice that you've got a little bit of help here to make accent marks if you do not know how to make them. And when you're done, you click Submit. And once you've done that, there should be a notice under status that you have completed it. One great thing about the Imagina super site is that you have a bunch of tutorials. So if you go into Lección 2, go under Tutorials, you'll be able to find for that particular lección all sorts of tutorials that'll give you a review of how to do particular structures. Here, for instance, you could get a overview of the irregular preterites.
Hola, ¿cómo están? ¿Regular o irregular?
That's a very valuable tool for you because it's basically the teacher or an online teacher presenting a mini lesson for you.